Hello and welcome to Mid-Missouri Art News. Today we have Spotlight on the Arts here at Mid-Missouri Art News. I'm your host, Rick J. Thanks for tuning in and being a part of our programming here at Mid-Missouri Art News on JCTV in our capital city, Jefferson City, Missouri. We're actually, should we say, getting used to the heat and the humidity about this time of year. It's July 5th, 2017. Today I have a special spotlight on two individuals, artist Hannah Ingmire and Ivy Case, who is the director of the Orr Street Studios in Columbia, Missouri. Hannah, our artist, is also a member and very active with Orr Street Studios. So welcome, Hannah and Ivy.
Hi.
Ivy just returning from a trip to Africa. So she took time out for Mid-Missouri Art News. I mean, I've reached to Toronto, Canada with a guest, which recently has got funding thanks to JCTV. Odette Blanche has received funding for the anti-trafficking movie, and What Did She Say? And they're now have funded it thanks to taking it to the Cannes Festival. So we're all real happy and want to thank JCTV and Glory Inlow, beg your pardon, for really putting that together, the show, and it really sold the movie, and now they have funding. I'll be playing a part of Grandfather Nuttall in the movie, so I hope you look for both. Well, so not to take away from our special guest, Hannah, and also Ivy. I want to, on behalf of the Jefferson City Art Club also, thanks for being part of the program. I'd first turn to Hannah Ingmire, beg your pardon, and I'd ask you to tell us a little bit about you and those highlights of your life that best describe Hannah.
Well, I've traveled, I've lived a lot of places, and when I was a young child, I decided to do my first mural when I was 2, and I took my mother's makeup and I did a mural across the whole bedroom, and it was not well received. And so, but I continued drawing and painting. Then when I went to kindergarten, I did a painting of a little train. I think I could, yes, coming up over a hill. And they were having in Philadelphia an exhibit of children's artwork, and that was chosen. So my parents decided that it would be okay for me to proceed with my art. We lived next to an artist, and so I started my art lessons when I was 5. And we traveled a lot. My father was a doctor in the Air Force, Army Air Force at that time. So we moved a lot, and art became kind of my comfort. It was something, because I never really knew people very long, I could always do my drawing. And so that was really my favorite activity. But I like other things as well. I love nature. I love getting out and hiking. I love reading, and I couldn't live without that either. And I love my family. Yes. And art is has always been, I think art is essential. I'm very much believe that. And so it kind of makes me sad when I see an attitude that this is a frill. I do not think art is a frill. I think to a civilized society, yes, we need ways to express our feelings.
Yes. Talking with Renee Hackman and our last guest on the Mid-Missouri Art News, we was talking about the sensitivity and the way the art basically affects and is received by each admirer, and sometimes it brings people to tears on my own experience. Now, we also have something in common. I lived in a small town, Collins, Missouri, and I also drew on the bedroom walls. And those people that rented that place, years later when they didn't pay for after that, I guess, but my artwork was still on the bedroom wall when I visited, and that was at 5 years old, and I went back about age 21. So we both started at the same way, I guess, and maybe parents also noticed right away, maybe he has some talent. Of course, I didn't win any awards with that project, but that I can remember. But it was great. Now, also, Hannah, can you share with us would you like to say hi to family? This is a great time to say a shout out to family. I know you have grandchildren and a beautiful daughter, which I met when you was a presenter at the Jefferson City Art Club recently.
I have my daughter. She is a crisis counselor at a middle school in Columbia. My son-in-law is assistant principal at Rockbridge, and they have two absolutely the best grandchildren there ever were. And I know that other grandparents feel the same way.
Sure,
but yeah, it's lovely. And then I also have a son who's a librarian in St. Louis, and he has a family of 5.
Super. And would you like to say hi by names real quick?
Oh gosh,
Put you
I'm
on the
terrible
spot.
with names.
Well, that's all right. Let's go ahead.
Let's not waste.
I know that happens occasionally, believe me, especially when you think you're on TV or something.
I know. It's very odd.
No.
Yes.
Okay. Well, very good. Can you share with us your favorite mediums and subject matter when working on an art project?
Yes.
As an artist, we look for that as our viewers tune in. And those that aren't artists, they are starting to learn that there are different subject matter and, should we say, mediums.
Well, I started, I had private lessons in watercolor starting in the 5th grade through high school. And she was a member of the American Watercolor Society who had taught in Pittsburgh but retired to Quincy, Illinois, where we were living. And she was just a wonderful, wonderful woman. So I did watercolor, and when I went to college, I went to Grinnell and then graduate school at University of Iowa, and I focused at Grinnell on watercolor. And then in grad school, I got into all sorts of other exciting things, etching and that kind of thing. So then I taught high school for a couple of years, and then I started doing juried art festivals around Illinois and Chicago, and it was really fun. And so then I kind of gave up the art teaching, and I just spent 35 years traveling on the road. And so this was all very, very watercolor that was extremely intricate and very, very realistic, of imaginary rooms, basically.
I see.
And then we retired, and I actually had a stroke, and I wasn't able to do the detail. And so I had them bring to the hospital some big brushes, and my husband brought some canvases. And I started and I thought, this is really fun. Since then, I've been multimedia, and I don't care if it looks real or not. I just work with color and just anything. Barks, pieces of bark, leaves, stones, shells, jewels, anything.
At the art club meeting, we were so impressed with the bark and the shells. You just went over so big.
Thank you.
It was great, and we'll be looking at some of those as we speak, where our Gloria Enlow will be putting that together for the show. Hannah, do you have any projects now in process or at a venue for showing and viewing?
Well, this is where I think that Ivy needs to talk, because Orr Street is absolutely probably the best place I've ever been with the relation to displaying art, teaching art, wonderful people, and you get feedback from all the other artists. So it's just a lovely place, and I think Ivy can speak a lot better about that.
Ivy is the director of Orr Street Studios in Columbia, and we'll be going into detail the second segment of the program where we really get into that. But Ivy, would you like to say something? Say hi and just comment a tad, not to give away all the surprises we have, but welcome.
Well, thank you. And Orr Street Studios is a really special place, and I think everybody that's involved in it feels kind of special just to be there.
Yes, I know I feel special having you both here on the program. I've shared that with you earlier, and I'll sit here on the air. I promise. So great. We'll be getting into that. So, yes, you're a current member of the Orr Street Studios in Columbia, and we'll be learning more. I understand also that you keep a busy schedule teaching your skills to art students, and you may have broken away today just to be with us. Would you like to share how you reach and what subject matter you like to teach, and your website and phone number? We don't want to forget that.
My classes are unusual. I limit them from 3 to 5 adults, and each person works at his or her own level, and I don't want everybody, like, oh, we're going to paint trees today. Each person has a different goal, and what I try to do is bring out what is creative inside of them, and then we talk about that, and then we talk about how they would feel comfortable bringing that out. So they do all different mediums.
So you reach in and bring out what they might have inside that you can trigger for a subject matter, whatever it might be. Yes.
So I have people doing very representational up to totally abstract. Super. And that's fun.
And what do you teach? What times do you?
I have a Wednesday class from 10 until 12, and I have a Friday class from 1 till 3. This summer, I'm starting an additional class from 10 until 12, and that one will be sort of focused on acrylics, which I have now spent 15 years having joys and very not happy times with, but I really love acrylic.
Mastering it, I guess. You have it mastered by now, maybe.
I don't know.
Well, let's go ahead. This is a great opportunity. If they need more information, your phone number and website, they may reach you to schedule classes.
Okay, my phone number is 573-673-2818. And if you want to get me by email, I think it's EHINGMIRE@hotmail.com. Is that what you wanted?
Yes. Can you say that one more time for us?
I'll try. Okay, my phone number is 1-573-673-2818, and my website is Ingmire, INGMIRE @hotmail.com.
Oh, super. Great. All right. Well, Hannah, I want to thank you personally for sharing your art interests and your basis, your foundation here on Mid-Missouri Art News. Spotlight on the arts, spotlight on Hannah and Ivy Case today, and being my guest today also.
Thank you.
After the break, we meet Miss Ivy Case, who is the director of the well-defined Orr Street Studios in Columbia, Missouri, and all that makes up Orr Street Studios, which is one of the most talked about studios in mid-Missouri. That all happens when we return in about 60 seconds. Stay with us.
everybody?
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Hello and welcome back to Spotlight on the Arts, a feature program under Mid-Missouri Art News here on JCTV in Jefferson City, Missouri. I'm Rick J., your host, and I'd like to now turn to the second part of the show to Director Ivy Case, who is here as an artist and spokesperson for the Orr Street Studios of Columbia, Missouri. Welcome to JCTV Mid-Missouri Art News, Ivy.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Ivy, please tell us, if you can, a little bit about you and those highlights of your life that best describe Ivy Case. And I understand just back from Africa yesterday.
Yeah.
So welcome back. Nice.
Thanks. I'm kind of awake, so that's a good time to talk. I was raised in Pennsylvania and ended up in Missouri, and I've been here for quite some time now. The mother of 6 children, which is a creative job to raise 6 kids and find things of interest to them. And I could do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and so that made me a pretty good mom. And one of those was art, so we always had that kind of stuff going on in our house.
Right.
And as I was making my way through life, there's always paint and pencils and ink to play with, and it's one of my favorite things to do. I was never formally trained. I'm what I guess what they call an outsider, and my degree is in business management. Additionally, I was a certified professional midwife for 30 years and delivered a bajillion babies everywhere. Excellent. And that's what has taken me around the world in my retirement.
One of your reasons for going to Africa this time, right? Teaching midwife.
Teaching the indigenous traditional birth attendants of the Maasai tribe in Tanzania.
The Maasai tribe.
Yes.
Did you find, not to get off of art, but did you find any differences in your technique, shall we say, or experience or professionalism as a delivering babies your style compared to the Maasai?
Yes.
So that's why you went over to kind of correct some of the procedures?
Yeah, they had asked us. I worked for a little NGO called Humanity for Children, and they had asked us to come help them because they were losing mothers and babies, and because they're so remote and they can't get any help. So we went over to help them.
Oh, super. I hope I phrased that all right. That's great. That's very honorable, too, and I know it's got to be rewarding. Would you like to say hi to the children and the grandchildren, husband?
They all live way out of state, and there's a whole bunch of them. So, in general, hi, kids, there we are.
Great. Here's mom and grandmother. Great. Okay, and well, can you, I guess, share with us how you were first inspired to become an artist or associated with art? How the opportunity to fill the directorship at Orr Street all came to fruition.
Right. Well, when I retired from being a midwife, I happened to know somebody who had a studio there, and they lost their studio mate, and I just kind of got right in there because, I could now, because I was done with all my child raising and businesses and all the other things I had done, and was excited to finally get to go back to my first love and try my hand at art. And it's been kind of a funny, slow process for me. I can hardly call myself an artist yet, but maybe one day I will. In fact, I call my little business Imposter Arts. That's
interesting.
Yes. That makes a cute T-shirt, right?
Yes. we all have that art in us generally, and if it, when and however it comes to fruition is interesting in different cases on my interviews.
So I was there for about a year when the directorship came up, and I thought, well, I can do that because I have a lot of administrative experience and I'm a good mother hen, And, you know, we've got 27 artists there who require different kinds of temperament for,
Yes.
for help and encouragement and whatever. So I thought that would be a good fit for me. And I did get the job, and I've been there about a year and a half now.
Oh, super. I hear great things about your companionship and your instruction. And Hannah is one of the best spokesmen for that. Spokespersons, I guess.
Ivy is wonderful. She really is.
Great. So
She's always.
that's something for people, our viewers, to think about if they're interested. You've got to get on over to Orr Street Studios and take a look and meet Ivy. And Hannah will be running around there someplace with a brush in her hand, probably.
Yes, always.
Well, as a spokesperson and director, can you share with our viewers what you'd like to about the Orr Street Studios? I understand that Orr Street Studios is now celebrating its 10th year of longevity, which I apologize. I wish I had you on before the 10th year celebration, which I have down as April 23rd, 2016.
It was great.
Okay. And you must be doing something right.
We must be doing something right. It's a unique place. It's a nice size. There's 27 artists there at the currently.
Super.
And it's an industrial space that used to be warehouses in a kind of back part of the city, and that's now called the North Village Arts District, where there's all sorts of little nooks and crannies full of artists and arts. And we're one of them, maybe one of the first, actually, in the North Village Arts District.
I see.
And Mark Timberlake and Chris Teeter are the two people that had this vision of taking these old, rusted, horrible warehouses and turning them into an art studio. And Chris is a sculptor, and he made 16 doors of some of the found objects that were laying around in the warehouses. And they're huge doors. They're 8 feet tall and 6 feet wide, and each studio has one that rolls on rollers, and behind them is an artist working away at whatever they want. And the doors are just a showcase. They're what makes Orr Street Studios Orr Street
And what's that address?
106 Orr Street in Columbia.
106 Orr Street.
If you can find Orr Street, that's our problem.
Right, it's by the old train station, the Wabash Station on 10th.
Wabash Station.
So that if you can get there, you can find us if you wander around enough.
And what would you say your mission statement there is?
Well, our mission is to provide an interface for the community with art and artists. And that's so we do everything we can to let that happen.
Definitely getting that accomplished. I will make it a point to make a visit up that way.
That'd be wonderful.
And take a look. Do you have any daily, weekly, monthly, upcoming special events you'd like to talk about?
We do. Every first Friday, the North Village Arts District sponsors a art walk where there's music and food and art and just things happening. Sometimes fire eaters and jugglers or movies projected on a wall, or pizza trucks. There's all sorts of things happening in the North Village Arts District. And we have an open house from 6 to 9 on the first Friday of every month.
I see.
And we try to have as many artists as can come and be in their studios with their work on display, and people come and listen to the music and get something to eat, and maybe drink a beer and wine, and wander around and talk to the artists and look at the art and maybe take some home.
Now, do you have any pieces of work there of your own that you are on display?
Well, if you come in my studio, you'll see all sorts of things, but I haven't got anything for sale yet.
Okay, but you're working on it.
I'm working on it.
We're going to have to move her on up the ladder.
I
There's an
know.
artist, she doesn't realize that.
I'm having a handicap,
Yeah, I see your handicap. And do you want to share with us your latest handicap?
I cut my thumb and had to have tendons and nerves reattached. So I haven't been making art for a while, and it might be a while before I am.
Well, super. Well, we wish you a speedy healing on the hand there. Okay, super.
Some of the other things that we do, we have a Second Saturday for Kids, which is a really great, unique program. Second Saturday 3 times a year. It's free, and you come in with your parent, and there's a huge array of activities, usually on a theme, for the children to do. and it's just a few hours of unbridled creativity.
Oh, that sounds great. And any future shows coming up, celebrations?
I think we have one the second Saturday of this month, and the next one will be in October.
Okay, super. Hopefully you'll get back with me and we'll be able to promote that ahead of time.
Yeah.
In October.
Well, Hannah always participates in that. Do you want to speak to it some more?
Well, this Saturday we're doing, in honor of the eclipse, and along with many other places, we are doing a show with eclipse themed things. And my students and Jen Wigg's students are doing a young masters show. So we have a show within a show at First Fridays, and there will be work from children from age 8 through 15 at this show.
Awesome.
They're all excited, and they've all helped do their own framing and titling and pricing and things.
Oh, that's great. Give them some really good hands-on experience.
Yeah.
That's what's great about these organizations like Orr Street, reaching out, starting them young. Just like Jefferson City, the art club, the children's grade schools and elementaries. We have a show, Ruth Hogan show every year. Let's see. You talked about a website. We want to get the website, telephone number, where people can call or go online and get more information.
One of the things they might want to call and get more information about is renting the space for events, which is how we make our money.
So you rent spaces for artists?
We have weddings, and we have receptions and baby showers and
I see.
talks and book openings, and we do a lot of work with not-for-profits, and there's something happening pretty much all the time.
So you have a large venue there for many applicable events.
We can hold up to 200 people, I believe. So they can call 573-875-4370. They can get a hold of us on our website, which is orrstreetstudios.com, all one long word. We're on Facebook, too.
On Facebook?
Yeah.
Super, super. So that's 573-875-4370. 70.
Yep.
Okay, super. That's great. I want to thank you both for contributing to Mid-Missouri Art News today. The spotlight has been on you too, making a learning and informational experience for me and our viewers. So thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Next featured our guest here on Mid-Missouri Art News will be Stephen Wilson of the Jefferson City Art Club, who will be spokesperson and sharing some of his art, and Linda Hoover of Houstonia, Missouri, who is a well-known mural artist who climbs to high heights. If you've seen the last program that Linda was on, building murals in the Sedalia area, for example. And she's also a member of the Sedalia Visual Arts Association. And that'll be taped on August 9th. And we have more Spotlight on the Arts coming up that I'm scheduling in the future, a gentleman out of St. Louis. And so just stay tuned to Mid-Missouri Art News, especially our spotlights where we feature guests like Hannah and Ivy today. Look for more. Oh, I do want to thank again Gloria Enlow, our producer, for contributing so much to the program and its success. And I want to thank you, our viewers, for watching. So look for more Mid-Missouri Art News right here on JCTV. And don't forget YouTube. I'm Rick J. saying thanks. I'll see you next time.